Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. Get to the GRC in a moment. First, disclaimer, if you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shock campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, all pertinent links are right there in the description box. Should you like to do a deep dive, you're definitely going to be able to go ahead and do so. Trigger warning, this channel is marked not for kids for a reason. I do use profanity. And when we talk about places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. So if you have kids that are 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision, very much advised, alright? Alright, so we're getting back to where we left off the other day, the very last part of this article, where they are actually going after some of the other things that the JRC did, but they're not going into much detail. So, we'll go ahead and continue, and of course we'll do a video just to recap of all the things that they're not being specific about in this particular article here. So, where we left off, it says, another quote stated they got shocked for asking something, saying good morning, or talking in their first language, Spanish. That has actually been something that we've covered. They would not accept any other language but English, and if you did not give a Shakespearean soliloquy every single time you need to go to the bathroom, you would get shocked. I'm sorry, but that's pretty much what I'm getting here. Like, instead of saying, what's your name, most people would just reply with your name. But if you don't reply with the full sentence, my name is, you get shocked for that. Now tell me, how many people are going to respond with like an entire paragraph when somebody asks your name? They asked your name, not your life story. Okay? But Tiffany, that's not what neurotypicals do. I've been a people watcher from way back. I can promise you that is not what neurotypicals do when somebody asks them their name. They just tell them their name. Maybe there's follow-up questions, maybe there's not. You get what I'm saying. So it doesn't surprise me that because they were replying in their native language that they got shocked for it. Because this is the world, this is the personal hell we're all stuck in now. Welcome to our club. Buckle up, because it's only going to get worse from here. Let me continue here. They'd say, no talking out. You can't talk in any environment. Only staff are allowed to talk. If you say anything, you're shocked, she read. Can somebody please explain to me? Oh, but we're going to help you be better behaved socially. Okay, how is that supposed to happen if I'm not allowed to communicate unless it's in a way that you approve of? Want to know how you brush up on social skills? You're allowed to socialize. You open your flat hole and, move it, and words come out. Or you can use sign language or assistive technology, whatever it is. But the idea should be that you want them to socialize. Because just like anything else, as much as I hated it with the entirety of my soul, it takes practice. Granted, for me, the practice had to do with not looking like I would, rather bang my head to the point of unconsciousness than continue with the boring small talk that meant nothing, but neither here nor there. Anyways, let me tell you how I really feel. Let me continue where we left off here. Multiple people told wives they often didn't know why they were being shocked. I remember waking up at 4 in the morning to a staff person pulling my covers off me and telling me to get up. I didn't understand. She said, "Oh, you're refusing to get up," and she'd give me at least 10 shocks. Can you imagine that? You're rudely waking up. You're coming out of sleep. And because you don't move fast enough, they're considering that disobedience and shocking you. If that doesn't horrify you, you have no soul. I never even understood why. See, here's the thing. When you do that, you delay consequences like that, and you wait until the next morning, particularly when they're not even fully awake yet, no, you're not going to understand why they're being shocked. "Oh, you're moving too slow. I just woke up, bitch. You were right there." We have an epidemic of hostile Karens. I don't know what else to tell you. The other staff person said, "I can't tell you why. I don't know. Most of the time, I didn't know what I was getting shocked for," the quote read. So, in other words, contrary to what the JRC tries to project, in actuality, it is the JRC that seems to be having the more fundamental communication problems than the autistics and other disabled people stuck in their hellhole. Is it just me? I mean, look at all their attempts at PR. Oh my God. Fire that guy. Like, super fire him. Is that a thing? The shock devices have also left bruises, scars, or lasting pain, people told Wise. Things that we can actually back up with facts called ER documentation, ER photos, and video surveillance footage. Do not try me. Today is not the day. The JRC describes sharks as harmless and life-saving 2-second applications that are done less than once per month. We've all seen how much that is a lie by simply looking at Jennifer Basubro's behavioral sheet. But okay, JRC, once a month. Sure, Jan. Even if that were the case, it still shouldn't be happening. It'd be like an abusive parent. But I only backhand him at the first of the month. As though that excuses it somehow. It's not all the time, so that's not bad, right? Yes, it is bad. It is evil. You belong in Dante's nice circle of hell. Half frozen, trapped in bitter wind you'd never survive as a human being for all eternity. Yeah, I said it. Not sorry. People on the devices have also failed all other possible treatments at numerous facilities across the country, including, here we go, psychotropic drugs. We've already been over how much that is utter and complete bullshit. Have we not? Have we not at this point? I would think that we have. We're not as far along in the article as I thought. Alright, so one more paragraph here, and then we'll go ahead and leave the rest for the next one. In March 2020, the U.S. Drug Administration banned electrical stimulation devices used for self-injurious or aggressive behavior. But that decision was overturned. We remember when that happened, because boy did I go off. The New York Times showed an observation room at the facility where residents are monitored on multiple screens. We've seen that room. The FDA warned its petition that the FDA determined that those devices present unreasonable and substantial risks of both physical and psychological injury, and we have all the evidence, literally all the evidence, to back that up. The receipts have receipts, and those receipts also have receipts. This is the most clear, proven case of torture and abuse I have ever come across in my entire life, to this day. To this day. And it's still allowed to continue. The FDA warned in its petition that the FDA determined that those devices present, we just read that, sorry. The shocks cause pain that has been described as extremely painful, excruciating painful, like a dentist drilling on an unanesthetized tooth, like a bulging and a ruptured disc, like 1,000 bees stinging you in the same place for a few seconds, and as the most painful thing I have ever experienced, the petition states. The strongest jolts that have been given by an employee through a remote control is 41 milliamperes, which is extremely painful and causes a brief loss of muscle control, the Times reported. An electric current of 50 milliamps is potentially fatal. One person told Wise, it's like 2 nails being pounded into your skin. Jesus. Oh no, but it's perfectly fine and safe, folks. From that horrifying note, we're going to go ahead and close out for this one. They still haven't really gotten to the details yet of some of the other things that take place at the JRC. I'm hoping, as we're getting towards the end of the article, that they'll get into it. If not, of course, you'll know I'll do a follow-up. Make sure you have all the details as well as the sources to back it up. We're going to go ahead and close out for now. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments and make sure that you are still set up to receive notifications. We don't want you to miss any of this, and we certainly don't want you to miss out on the Down the Rabbit Hole or Snake Oil Salesman series. I do appreciate your time, and as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea absolutely do. Hope you have a good one. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everyone.